Hello and welcome to my blog about mast cell activation syndrome. I want to tell you a little bit more about it, other than my book, Paulo and the Restoration of a Childlike Optimism, that I've written about life with this illness. I thought I'd just talk you through a little bit what mast cell activation syndrome actually is. It is a rare disorder, which 7% of the population, of Britain's population, is at the moment diagnosed with. There might be more. There are probably a lot of numbers, dark numbers, that have not been detected because it's very, very difficult to diagnose. I waited 20 years for my diagnosis, and I had tests in both countries done, Germany, my home country, and here in England. And in the end, it was actually an ENT surgeon who pointed me in the right direction. It was an accidental mentioning of it, and that put the whole ball into rolling. And then finally they did the right test. And like I said, it took me 20 years. So mast cell activation syndrome is when your immune system can't detect what is friend or what is foe and reacts constantly to chemicals in foods or in your environment. This can be mild. You can only react on the skin, for example. Then you have a dermatitis or a rash. This is how it started with me. I used to get rashes. My arms were really badly affected, so I used to get lots of bumps on my arms, and I describe them as little nuclear bombs. So they pulse. So I need to scratch them. So then, because the scratching actually used to relieve it, so then I had a lot of scars on my arms. So I tattooed them over. So now I've got 2 sleeves, which you can see on my book. On the back, you can see here my arms are nicely tattooed. Yes, so that is a result of that disorder, which by that time didn't even know why I used to get all these rashes all the time. So I started to react more. My lungs got affected, my eyes, my nerve system. So now I react with nerve pain, which is quite debilitating at times. Yes, and you have to go through a lot of doctors in order to be able to find your diagnosis. But there are Facebook groups that help. It's absolutely worth doing that, going on Facebook and joining the mast cell group there. In this blog, I want to introduce a few things that you can do other than just swamping yourself with medication, which is often not possible, because if you're in a severe stage like me, you won't be able to take medication anymore. You just have to remove triggers, which leads to isolation and a very limited lifestyle and diet. The last anaphylactic shock I had was to peas, little small innocent peas. So I ate them, and then I blacked out. I came back, which was nice, good, because I was alone at home. Nobody could have administered me an EpiPen if I would have not come back. I just came back in time, for the school run. So then I shuffled up that hill really slowly, because after, an anaphylactic shock, things don't really work very well. So, so I managed to survive that. Quite glad about that. You never know what happens next. The anaphylactic shock before was to a coffee from Starbucks on the road. So I started slurring. I was talking to my husband and my son, and then my husband said, "Is there something going on for you? You're slurring as if you're drunk." And I said, "Yeah, I think I'm going to be a bit quiet for a while." Ouch. And I came back again. Yeah. So that was a relief to all of them. I'm not sure what my husband and my son felt while they were sitting next to me as I was slumped forward like that. They were probably they stayed cool. It is. I keep playing it down. So I'm not making a big drama about it when I have it. I have my 2 EpiPens in the backpack. I know my husband knows he needs to get them out if I don't wake up after a while. So we are kind of prepared. But to be honest, to prepare yourself for death, you know, in my age is a quite difficult thing to do, knowing that I might not wake up, knowing that my son might have to witness this, you know. So I'm trying to be good. I'm trying not to experiment, you know. I'm trying to eat my broccoli and my chicken and my gluten-free pasta every day. Blah. Anyway, every day the same. That's the reality for us mast cell people, is eating the same diet, you know, the same food, lunch, dinner, sometimes breakfast. When I'm in a flare, I actually have to eat gluten-free pasta for breakfast. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, I have to do that. So just to survive. Yeah, so, and then we have the comorbidities. Sorry, I can't even say that word. So that's autism. So a lot of autistic people have MCAS, and a lot of MCAS are autistic. I'm autistic as well. I have 3 beautiful children. I would say they're on the autistic spectrum. Definitely they're not diagnosed, but I could see. I'm diagnosed, waiting for the diagnosis for my son. And yes, so and there is a reason for it, because the mast cells react and obviously release histamine, which causes swelling and inflammation. And this is the histamine can cross the blood-brain barrier and cause inflammation in your brain, which kills nerve cells. And so very often we have problems with memory, we have problems with emotional control. So there are some other comorbidities are bipolar, and I can absolutely confirm that. I have phases where I'm so hyper that for weeks I don't sleep more than 4 or 5 hours. And then I crash again. And then I'm not, well, clinically depressed, but I am low. Yeah, so because it's quite exhausting to be so hyper. Yeah, so bipolar, and then we have anxiety. Yeah, I can tick that box as well. Yeah, lots of panic attacks. Wonderful. It's not easy to live with that, to be honest. The other day we went to London to the Royal Albert Hall. Lovely, curious, loved it. And I had one panic attack after the other. Just started about a week before my trip to London, because I didn't know what would happen there. Would I go past a person with perfume and vomit right there in the corridor of the beautiful Royal Albert Hall on the scarlet red carpet in front of everyone? Nice. Or or would I sit there in the cafe and my son accidentally, after biting into a sandwich, spit into my face, because these little year-olds, they don't have very clean eating habits, so they do spit a little bit. Or then he has this grimy little hands and then he touches me with them. So yes, so that can lead to an anaphylactic shock as well. So I might just pass out there in the middle of the cafe in front of everyone. Yeah, actually, you forgot the weeing the pants. That's what we often do before we pass out. Nice. So this is my first series of the blog about mast cell activation syndrome. I hope you're coming back. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you want to know more about life with mast cell activation syndrome, with autism and all its comorbidities. In one of my hyper phases, I wrote this book within 3 weeks. Hardly any sleep. So wrote through the night while everybody in the house was sleeping. Of course, it took me longer to edit it and make it presentable, which I think you'll find a lot of mistakes in that as well still. But yes, so I will tell you more about all this. I will get some gadgets out. I'll talk to you maybe a little bit about nutrition that you can do, because I am actually a naturopathic kinesiologist. That's my profession. So I'm seeing allergic people all the time. We're talking a lot about herbal and homeopathic ways of tackling this. So I'm happy to share my knowledge with you during my next blogs. So come back, listen for more. and share. Yeah, recommend me. And maybe you'd like to have a little read. You can find me on Amazon. Just put in Paolo and my name, Jules Wheatley, and you'll find this book. It's free on a Kindle Unlimited membership. And I hope you'll enjoy it. Come back. Bye.